Yeah, more and new forms of cyber threats are evolving because the cyber criminals and hackers are getting smarter and smarter, and their threats cannot be recognized by these companies and governments and all that, and that is one thing. Most of the criminals and hackers basically are in a country which do not have very kind of developed regulations and enforcement, and they victimize these businesses and consumers and governments in another country, and the countries actually do not really cooperate with each other, and the international cyber crimes are very difficult to solve because of that, and that is one of the main challenges right now. Yeah, basically more and more companies are becoming aware of the cybersecurity issues, and they are spending more money. And one study indicated that from 2017 to 2021, about $1 trillion will be spent on various types of cybersecurity solutions, which is kind of 200 billion every year. So companies are kind of spending more money, and also new technologies are being used to solve this, address the cybersecurity problem. One example is the blockchain technology, and blockchain basically allows these individuals and companies and government agencies to store their own data, and the data doesn't need to be stored in cloud controlled by a centralized owner like an insurance company or a bank or government institutions, and individuals are the ultimate controllers of their information, and they can control their information with a private key, which is very difficult for hackers to guess. And so that is one way to secure kind of information in the future if everything goes well. Yeah, some of the challenges is the first challenge is related to the scalability, and blockchain is easy to apply if there is a little bit data, maybe 5 consumers' data or 5 patients' data. But if they have to do millions of people's data, and because the data needs to be stored in many different computers, devices, they call nodes, and it is difficult to store them, and also transferring from one node to another node, one device to another requires a lot of bandwidth. That is one thing, and many decision makers in organizations and government are not aware of the blockchain's potential to solve all these problems. And also, one of the main challenges is putting information for the first time in blockchain, the correct information, which information to put in the blockchain. That is also another challenge currently. Right now, I think some of the main sectors they are applying, I see more and more in the supply chain and container shipping. For example, the Danish company Maersk uses blockchain to solve all these problems, including cybersecurity. And other sectors could be even the Internet of Things devices, but at the same time they are also using, because these financial sectors are the one that have been using this blockchain. That's where it originated. Bitcoin was the first use of blockchain, and because of that, so these are some of the sectors like financial, the Internet of Things, and even healthcare. They are finding different government and this private sector players are collaborating, and so all of them are developing solutions. So these are some of the sectors like the supply chain, Internet of Things, and banking and finance and all that.